Rosa Felix. I'm from Mexico, from Zacatecas. We came to Bryan when I was 12 years old. We moved up to Corpus Christi because we didn't find out a place where to live here. And we have family members over there, so we moved up to Corpus Christi. We start working on the fields. That's the place we start working with my parents. I was too little to be working in the fields with them, but like there was nobody who could take me to school with my sisters. We were on the fields with my parents. When my parents were like on a break, they should take us to the library and read some books. Some of the teachers, they were like, well, why you're not in school? You may get in trouble. You had to go to school. I'm like, well, we don't have a parent who can take us to school right now. We had to be working with them on the fields. When I was 14 years old, we moved up to Bryan. We came here to Bryan to a better place. We find a place to live, and we like it. We stay here. More jobs, more opportunities. And we were having the same, my parents were having the same jobs. They were coming back and forth working on the fields. And like us being in school, we couldn't be regular in a school shift. We had to move back and forth. And that make us like not be like comfortable in school or be concentrated in it. So that really was really hard for us, keeping our grades up, being on school. I think when you come to a different country, it's just the language, the difficult. Because like me, my first language was Spanish. I never speak English in Mexico. They never teach me English. And when I got here on elementary school, it was just bilingual, Spanish. I passed all my tests in Spanish. Basically was my text too. And I didn't pass them. But when I got to middle school, everything was English. For me, middle school was struggling. It was really, really hard. And every time that I was going home, back home, I was just crying. I didn't understand the homeworks. I didn't understand how to speak with the teacher. It was just really hard. And past the time, I went to 6th grade, 7th grade, and I took the test. Most of them I was passing them, but with a hard trouble. I didn't understand them very well. And I was with teachers who helped me out with the language. They helped me out with the language. When I got to Bryan High, it was not that difficult, but the writing and reading it was kind of difficult for me. So I took some of the teachers from Bryan's D. They helped me out with my language. I used to stay after school taking tutorials for the language. They helped me out, and we work out. I know my English is not that perfect right now, but I'm trying every day to learn more. And it took me more than 3 years or 5 years to be my English a little bit perfect more. I have worked hard on it, but I'm just trying every day how I say it. Teaching my kids right now, my parents, they speak Spanish. They understand the whole English, but for them, Spanish is easy for them. And my kids, they're learning the language. Every day, I'm speaking to them, both of them. My 2-year-old son, he speaks Spanish and English right now. My motivation to finish high school was my children's, my babies, and also my family. I was always putting, not behind, but I always try my best to be with proving my parents that I could do it. If my older sister, she did it, I could do it too. And I know one day my sons will tell me, why you didn't finish high school? That's why I've proven them to them. If I did it, they can do it. I got all my credits. I finished the first time I finished my science, my history, and I was still having back my math and my English. So I was like, well, basically I'm just gonna drop out and don't care about it. And I knew that was not the correct choice to do. So I decided to keep going. And I knew one day I was gonna need my diploma. So I decided to came back to school and at least give it a try. I give it a try to math and English again. I didn't pass them. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm just gonna drop out, or I don't have another choice to do. So one day I had a dream that I passed it, and I was like, well, maybe I should believe in my dream. Should I give it a try? And I was like, well, let's give it another try. And I came back, and it was a Monday. And I was so positive that I was like, God help me. I will do this. Well, a month later, they called me, and I was so excited. And they're like, you passed. But I was like, which one did I pass? The both of them? They're like, no, you passed the math one only. I'm like, oh my God, why should I do it, God? Why should I do it? I was just crying, disappointed, but at the same happy. At the same time, I was really happy because at least I have one left, not the two of them. So I came back. Positive mind that I was gonna pass it again. I'm like, if I have waited like a long time to pass it, I'm gonna do it again. And I came back another Monday. And I was like, God, help me. This is the last time I'm gonna do it. If I pass it, good. If I don't pass it, I'm gonna keep trying, but I'm not gonna give up. I had to do it because for my family and for my kids. So I came, it was a Monday, it was raining. And I was like, oh, I had to do it. I came and I took it. I went home with the nervousness, crying that maybe I was not gonna pass it. I was hungry and I was really, really nervous. I waited for a whole month, and they told me, they called me first, and I didn't answer. I missed the call, I was asleep. And I called them back, and they didn't respond me. And on my mind, I just think, well, if it is really important, they're gonna call me back. So I was just waiting for the call, and they called me. Miss Melanie Pitia called me. She was like, I have a good news for you. And I was just crying and nervous at the same time. And she's like, are you Rosa Felix? I'm like, yes, I am. She's like, are you sure this is you? I'm like, yes, this is her. Can you tell me? And she's like, well, I had to tell you that you passed your test. Well, that day was the best day for me. I cried, and by the time I'm still crying, because this is really, really important to me, pass my high school. And this is one of the goals that I always wanted to be real. And I reached my goal. I passed my test. And now I'm gonna graduate, and I feel so excited that my parents, my husband, my kids, they're proud of me. My kids, they don't know what's going on, but they see me dressed up, taking pictures and crying, and they feel motivated with me. That's why I did it. And I think if I can do it, everybody can do it too. They told me about a workshop. It was going to be a Friday and a Saturday. And I was like, well, I don't know, should I go? I had to be with my family those days. It was an important wedding. And I'm like, well, I don't think so. I told Josie Padilla, and one of the other ladies, I told her, well, I don't think so. I will go to the writing shop. I don't think so. I'll commit it. And, well, the time was getting closer. And I was like, should I go or should I not go? I think on my mind. And I was like, I had to go. I guess I had to go, and I had to, if I'm going to do this, it's going to be right. And I decided to go. It was a Friday. I went there. They showed me how to write. It was Emma Gonzalez, the one who was inspired me on her story. She's an author of, she has a book. She wrote a book, and I like it. I'm not like kind of familiar reading books, but this book, the Mice book, I really love it. I think it's kind of like the same life that I live, and almost how she ended up being on the different place, and it's almost kind of like my story. And I was not gonna go the second day because it was a wedding, really important wedding. My sister was gonna get married. And I was like, I had to put my school or put my sister. And I was like, I had to put my school. I want my goal to be to reach out. I had to put it in. So I went to the writing shop again, and they teach me how to read, how to write more, and how to express myself a little bit more. And I kind of got some ideas from Emma Gonzalez, from her book, and from the writing that I was doing, the story I was doing. I kind of ended up having some ideas on my text, on my English text. And the day that I came to take it, I put my ideas. I put them in there, and I guess those ideas made me conclude my story a little bit more and help me out past my test. If I was giving up, if I was not gonna do it, I was like, I'm gonna end it up like my parents did, having a basic hours paycheck and not able to have a best job and be my own manager, not being working by somebody else, you know. Right. That's what my motivation was. Not being working on a field, picking up cotton, having my cuts cut. I didn't want that life. I wanted like to have support my kids, support my family, but on another different job, not in that job, and help them out with school, help them out being there with them. That's how I want it to be. It may be a struggle. You may be crying. You may be trying to get a GED, but give yourself your opportunity. Just try it. Believe in yourself, and you will do it. It may be really, really hard to pass it, but never, never give up. Have that in your mind. You always can do it. Everything what you propose to do, you can do it. In life, I know life is not easy, but if you propose it, you can do it. My future goals right now is to go to college. I can be a professional photography or be a nurse. I haven't decided yet, but I would go to college.
Long story short, because I've been working with Rosa for 3 years. She's taken this exam 8 times. On the 8th time is when she passed. That's when I showed her, or I gave her Emma Gonzalez's book, Field Mice, and she started to read. She says, this is me. This is my story. I said, well, this lady is coming to Region 6, and I want you to come to the workshop. Well, I can't because my sister's going to get married, all of that stuff. I said, oh, okay, well then education can be put aside. No, I said, well, it's up to you. You know, this is a free workshop. You're going to get a ride over there and a ride back. You're going to get a meal. What else do you want? So she finally decided to come. Well, while she was there, before she went to the workshop, she contacted Emma. And she and Emma began to talk and everything. She says, it's just my story. It's my story. So she went, and at that point is when she and Emma made real good contact and became friends. And that's the day that not only she, but I think we had about 36 students, migrant students that were there. And the first thing they told Emma was, this is the first time we learn how to write. She gave them a concept of writing the way she learned. And it was like, you're going to start at the rooftop and go down to tell your story, but tell your story as you have lived it. And so they did. And then Sharon Brown, my coworker, came to Rosa twice to help her with the writing. She came over here and helped Rosa with the writing right before the exam. And she passed. So that is our success with Rosa and some other kids, but especially Rosa because she really has struggled quite a bit. It has not been an easy journey for her. And hopefully, well, I know she'll continue with college because we've already given her some lines to get in touch with people. I don't do anything for her. She says, can you do, I know you're going to, here's a number, here are the people, you do it. I'm not one to enable somebody to lean on me. I'm very independent. So you're going to do it yourself. And she does. I mean, there's some things that I do, but not, I'm like, you're learning on your own. That's it. So for me, to be persistent with a person is not being negative with them. It's not demanding. Well, in a way it is demanding, but it's because I want you to see your dreams come true. I want to see you as the person that you really are and can be.
In a way, their success is your success.
Exactly. It is, because if I had failed with Rosa, I would have been a failure. And I've invested a lot of time with her, and I'm going to continue as much as I can, because when she graduates, well, she's my little child that's gone. I mean, you have to give her wings. You have to give her wings. And so that's what I plan to do. She's going to have her wings now.
I'm Billy Lopez. I'm 38 years old. I was in high school from 92 to 97, and I had transferred to ACE in 97, and I was course completed in all my courses, and I was lacking my TOS math. And after that, I took the TOS about 3 times, and I still didn't pass. So I just kind of moved on, started working, and just worked for a couple of years. Well, basically 25 years at my job. You know, one day I was just like, I'm going to call to Bryan High to see if I can take my TOS test. And I called. Basically, I was told that I wasn't eligible to take my TOS math because they no longer had TOS, it was tax. So I just kind of, she said for me to go get my GED, or I could try to call down in Dallas. There was a church that was helping people get their diplomas. I called, but it didn't seem like something that I was interested in. And GED, didn't want to get my GED because I wanted to have my diploma. Because I was like, you know, I did all that for nothing. So what I did was I just didn't do nothing. Basically, I just thought about it, you know. There's got to be a way. One day, Miss Spirita came to my job, and she was talking about my nephew, how he was, you know, short some credits, but that's all he needed was like 2 or 3 credits. And after that, I told her, well, can I explain to you my situation? And I did, and she told me how I can go about getting my diploma. I have to come down and take the test in March. She said for me to first sign up, and then I'll come and take the test. If I pass, then I get my diploma. If not, I can come back in July and retake the test. Well, I came in March, I took the test, and after that, I waited for the results to come in, and they came in and I passed, and now I get to walk the stage in spring of 2016. I plan to go to college and pursue a career in the medical field.